Lord Jesus Christ. Well, oh, sorry. Christ is risen. Welcome to St. Cyril Methodius Orthodox Church. I'm in Madison, Wisconsin. I'm Father Gregory, the forgetful pastor. Well, it's good to have you with us here today. You notice the blank wall behind me. That's because I'm just recording in my office this afternoon. Just sometimes I like to just change it up a little bit. So in the tagline for today, you see that I wanted to talk to you about trade-offs. And what brought this to mind is that I have high blood pressure, as actually most men my age do, certainly in my family. So the doctor put me on blood pressure medication, and it works a treat. My blood pressure dropped just really dramatically. It wasn't super high to begin with, but it's down lower than it has been since really since I was in college when I was running cross country. So that's kind of nice. And I'm losing weight, and that's good too. But there are some little side effects to the medication that are not really that pleasant. Get a little tired. My appetite's depressed a little bit. I have my tummy's not always happy. Yeah, so it's good that my blood pressure is down, but it comes at a cost for some other things that are maybe not that are not desirable. But that's okay because that's actually what life is frequently about. It is about trade-offs. My friends who are economists are great on this issue. When I say something is good, their inevitable response, they're invariably respond by saying, well, compared to what? Well, compared to having high blood pressure and the increased possibility of a heart disease or heart attack, yeah, the minor discomfort of the medication is good. It's good. And I think we forget that sometimes, though, when we talk about the moral life, that often that it is really a matter about trade-offs. And to be sure, we cannot do, as St. Paul says, evil that good might result. Right? So we're not allowed to say, well, a good thing's going to happen because of this bad thing. So that's the trade-off we're willing to make. That's utilitarianism, and that really is a decadent moral philosophy that ends up justifying all sorts of great harm. But the fact of the matter is that most of the good things that we do in our life come with particular costs, and so it is a matter of trade-off. I'm talking to you here now from my office, which is great, but that means there's other things, excuse me, that I can't be doing because I'm talking to you. So there's that trade-off. The problem that I think we run into is that we fall into one of two bad ways of thinking. The first I just mentioned a moment ago is utilitarianism. It says, well, as long as something good happens, that the trade-off is worthwhile, and that ends up leading us down the road of saying it's acceptable to do evil that good might result, and that's simply not true, and that leads to all sorts of disasters. If yeah, it can be used to justify all sorts of immorality and sin. But the other thing that we need to avoid is sort of the opposite trap of thinking that there is one absolutely right answer, that regardless of circumstances, regardless of the individual who's acting, and that's not the case. The scriptures do a very good job of telling us the things that we're not supposed to do, and that's in the Ten Commandments. That's a great place. But as for the things that we're supposed to do, well, yes, we're supposed to love God, and we're supposed to love our neighbor, we're supposed to love our neighbor as ourselves. But you know what that means in practice really admits to a whole range of opportunities. Years ago, when I was a new priest, a woman called me on the phone and said, Father, 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 my husband's having a heart attack. Oh my God. Okay. Well, Lord have mercy. I'll meet you at the hospital. What hospital did they take him to? Well, he's in the living room. Okay. Well, when the paramedics come and they tell you where he's going, give me a call and I'll meet you there. I didn't call the paramedics. I said, oh, for the love of God, hang up the phone, call the paramedics. I am the second call, not the first call. It's good that the woman wanted the priest to know that her husband was in need of the sacrament of the church. But he also needed to go to the hospital because he was having a heart attack. So she did a good thing, but she did a good thing in the wrong order. And this is really another thing that we fall into, is understanding that because things are trade-offs, we have to balance the things we do. We have to do them in the right order. Call the priest second when you're having a heart attack. Call the paramedics first. I don't feel bad about that. But again, to come back to the main point, So often in the moral life, we have to make trade-offs. And the only real hard and fast rule is that we can't do evil that good might result, and we cannot sacrifice or um, dishonor one good in the pursuit of others. So for example, I can't have a prayer life at the expense of my marriage. I can't have a happy marriage at the expense of my prayer life. I have to figure out how to balance. And this is really the point that I want to make is that the at the center of the moral life is learning how to bring into balance all the different goods in our life, all the different good things. Our relationship with Jesus Christ, our relationship with our spouse, our children, work, our friends. We don't want to ever sacrifice one of these for the sake of the other. But what we need to do instead is learn how to bring all these things into greater and greater balance, greater and greater harmony. And I'll leave you here with this, is really, I think, the center of what it is we mean as Orthodox Christians when we talk about moral theology. It's not a matter of trying to fulfill abstract moral principles, but rather of expanding communion in our lives, communion between people, and this is really the goal. And so that's always a matter of learning how to balance, how to get things into harmony. Well, it is, I see by the little clock in the corner, 4:20, and I got to get going because I have some confessions and I got to get ready for Vespers. Anyway, it's good to spend time with you this afternoon. Hope to see you in about 40 minutes at Vespers, either here at St. Cyril Methodius in Madison, Wisconsin, or online, as you're able to do. And then again, tomorrow morning, we have liturgy at 9:30. Again, hope to see you in person. But if you can't be here in person, hope to see you online. If you are watching online at Vespers tonight or liturgy tomorrow, give us a thumbs up or a heart, or just make a comment, say hi, just so we know you're there, because that's really helpful. Anyway, God bless everyone, and I will see you in about 40 minutes. Okay, bye bye.